Full Court Press, Coach J live, just for a little bit, not very long. Just coming on, take a few questions, maybe. Just do a little short Q&A session. Yeah, that's about it. Tomorrow I'm going to talk about culture and the identity. What's up, Ty? I'm on just taking any kind of questions that people may have as it pertains to basketball and anything else. So I'm just waiting to see if people will chime in, answer a few questions, especially with March Madness coming up. We're going to talk about some March Madness. Topic will be Sabrina Ionescu. Then we'll talk about South Carolina Lady Gamecocks and their incredible streak right now. Talk about, I think his first name is David, but I ain't gonna call him that, but Toppin at Dayton. Talk about him. Talk about March Madness in general as a whole. Who you think is gonna win it all, who's going to win ACC tournaments, SEC tournaments, and so on down the line. Just to talk about it now that high school basketball is over. We're going to turn our shift to college basketball some. All right, this session is really just I got a few people popping in. So if you have a question, bring it out. Coach B. Just trying to get a few questions. Going to do a little Q&A session for about 10, 15 minutes here. If you got a question, type it down below. I still haven't mastered this thing of how to bring on somebody else. No questions, huh? You can't follow instructions of the live session. We'll have to talk about that. It's my guy, y'all. He don't like to follow instructions too well. Nah, I'm just kidding. He's a good dude. Well, I'm gonna give it a little bit more time, but while I'm in it, let's talk about Sabrina Ionescu for just a minute. Let's talk about her record-breaking year, fast-paced versus traditional. All right, there we go. Now we're talking. Okay, traditional systems are usually, I prefer fast pace. Traditional systems are too slow. What's going on, Glenn Isaac? Traditional is a lot of set plays. They're going to slow it down a little bit more. They run when the opportunity presents itself, meaning they're not going to run all the time. They're just, if they got a fast break, they'll take it, or they'll run and get steals or out in transition that way. But they're usually going to beat you with their system, whether there's a motion offense involved. I'll use, some people run the flex a lot. Not really a fan of the flex, but that's a system that people run, and they run it over and over and over, and they're going to run it until they get what they want. And some people just run a 1-4 offense. Some people run a 1-4 offense where you got the UCLA cuts and all that in different actions. Some people are going to run the horns action. Some people are just going to keep running a spread motion offense to just keep going on and on. You know it's coming, but it doesn't work. So fast pace, meaning it's really simple. One of the quotes that I was given is fast equals simple. Simple equals fast, I'm sorry. That's the way it goes. And with that being said, I like to play fast versus being traditional because everybody can prepare for traditional. It's kind of hard to prepare for an up-tempo team if you're a traditional team. The reason it's hard to prepare for what's up, Craig? You should be getting out the boat soon. It's kind of hard to prepare for an up-tempo team if you're the traditional team because you just simply don't run like that in practice. You run, I'm good, Glenn. I appreciate you checking on me. I'll inbox you. I'm just trying to do a little short video today. with a traditional offense, you don't practice the up tempo. Hey, niece, you don't practice up tempo. You don't run like that. You run to be in shape so that your team can be effective and they don't get tired down the stretch against another traditional team. But you're not prepared to run at a tempo. There's a few teams, like, let's just go to, I'll use the Hank Gathers team with LMU. Teams were able to win, but you're not prepared for that at the high school level, to run for a team that's going to run like that and run and run. When you score, they're running. When they come out of a dead ball, what's up, Shenard? They come out of a dead ball, what's up, Shelton? They come out of a dead ball, they're running. Everything they run out of timeout, they run to the timeout, they run to the locker room. They're just running. Most traditional teams aren't prepared for that. And then most traditional teams aren't prepared to play against a fast-paced team because they're going to take you out of your traditional stuff, and now you're going to have to play their way. Advantage, fast-paced team. You probably want to play more up-tempo when you're smaller so you can negate other teams' size. If my biggest man is 6'4", and I'm playing 6'11", 6'12", that's 7 feet. That's what one of my friends called me, 6'12". If I'm playing 6'11", 6'10", 6'9", I'm already playing up-tempo anyway, so it's going to be to my advantage to negate that size by playing up-tempo. Slowing the ball down against a team like that is not in my favor if my biggest man is 6'4". And at the end of the day, running, teams will be able to run with you for a little while. They'll run for the first quarter, probably even run for the second quarter. And somewhere in about the middle of okay, explain the crazy style my teams play. All right, somewhere about the middle of the third quarter. So, question was asked. He saw my teams play in the past, and he wants to explain my crazy style. Well, it is crazy because people in the stands don't understand what's going on. We know what's going on. I sub every minute on the minute, probably about a minute and 10 seconds if you want to be correct. And most average high school teams play about 7 or 8 guys. Well, I was playing 13 guys out of a 14-man roster, and some days I played 14 people, and people are looking at me like I'm crazy because we didn't really have – I'm not going to give you all my insight, but we have a game plan with our trapping and how we move, and it's not – there's no strategic way that you can prepare for it because our traps may look – like a 1-2-2. Our traps may look like a 1-3-1. They may look like a man-to-man. There's so much that our traps look like, but they're not traditional. It is a fast-paced team. It's a crazy way. For other words, I call it organized chaos. The reason I call it organized chaos because it's organized to me, my coaching staff, and my players, and the coach that taught it to me, but to the crowd and to people who don't understand, to other teams, it's chaos because they don't understand what's going on. We know that by the time you get to the third quarter, your legs for your starters are going to be so tired, and my starters are going to be fresh because I've played 14 guys. While you're still playing your starters, I'm playing guy number 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14 against your starters. At about the third quarter, we're just waiting on that pimple. You know how a pimple gets a white head and then it eventually busts? That's what we're waiting on at that point. It's crazy, and you give up some layups, but you got to give up something to get something because when the other team finally scores a layup or they celebrating, well, you're taking the ball out. We have a drill where we try to get the ball out of bounds, and the guy gets it out of the net, out of bounds, in bounds within a second or less, and we drill that every day. There's a drill we do. We lay it up, got to get it out the net, boom. We try, if the other team scores, the ball cannot touch the ground. We get it out the net, we're out of bounds, we're in, and we're pushing it back down the court while you're running down the court celebrating. Defensively, we just all over the place. We play passing lanes. Like I said, I'm not going to give you all my secrets because I may have to play somebody who's going to watch this live video later, and I don't want you trying to prepare for me, which kind of wouldn't matter, but I still don't want to give you all my secrets. But we're going to be athletic. We're going to work hard. And in my system, you have to work hard, but it's drills that we do this. Like I talked about a couple videos ago, your system, you have to drill your system. What's up, Coach Morgan? Andre Morgan right there at UNCG. I think that's where Andre is. Give me a thumbs up. That's where you are. I think that's where you are. you have to, we drill this. We drill our traps. We drill we drill our fast break. We break it down into parts. We're doing the skill development in, what's up, Coach Coach Smith at Landrum? We're drilling our fast break. Coach MTSU, okay, there you go, correct me. I figured I lost you at one stop. So we drill our traps. We drill our fast break. We break it down into parts to where we're working on it so that when it becomes, we go 1-0, then we go to 2-0, then it goes to 3-0, then it's 4-0, then it's 5-0. So we're drilling this so when we finally get in the game, we already know what to do. It's like clockwork. We in practice, if the ball touches the ground off a layup or a made shot, if it bounce, we usually give one bounce, and that's being generous. If it bounces more than once, team's on the line running. That's because that's not what we're playing. For us, and we got to keep the clock moving. We're not trying to stop the clock. So we practice making sure we don't foul in our traps. And my guys are prepared to play 2 hard minutes for balls to the wall, meaning they're giving everything they got, and they know they got to give me that for 2 minutes. Nobody ever plays more than 2 minutes at one time. What's up, Rick Good? Nobody's going to ever play more than 2 minutes at a time. And therefore, now I get everybody to buy in to understand, yes, it takes a little – the hardest part about our crazy system is getting kids to buy in. The system works. My mentor's team scored 122 points, and he won a high school national championship with it. Man, I'm good, man. He won a high school national championship with it, and so we were able to I was able to put up 112 one year, one game, and it works. So running my crazy system is one of those things that I got to get kids to buy in because it's not traditional. It's not orthodox. It's unorthodox. It's going to cause a lot of things. We're going to give up some layups. We're going to do a lot of things that most teams aren't doing and that most kids aren't used to. But it's a fun style of play because everybody on your team gets to play. Guys, I'm going to pick this back up. What's up, cuz? Keon. I'm going to pick this back up probably around – hopefully about 2:50, so that's about an hour. I got a class coming in. Pick this back up at about 2:50. Continue to talk about fast-paced versus traditional. I'll be back in, and I'm going to pick up right where I left off. So just remember, unorthodox versus chilling, man. Unorthodox versus orthodox. Traditional versus fast-paced. That's where we'll be when I resume in about an hour. Full court with Coach J. Full court press with Coach J. See you soon.